Nice to speak to you.
Nice to speak to you.
Yeah.
Just very briefly, what are your memories of Paul Madeley?
Well, when I first came to the club, obviously Paul was a young player like myself. We played in the youth team together. We played in the reserve team together. We graduated to the first team. Paul was a great player. Paul would be what everybody would think a modern player should be like. You know, he could play anywhere, could play any position, get round the pitch, supreme athlete. We used to call him the Rolls Royce. You know, he was so fit, and you know, and he could play anywhere: right back, centre back, midfield, even centre forward for a while. And the thing about it is, as well, you know, he was a local boy, come through the Leeds schoolboys, played for the club he loved, and played over 700 games for the football club. Mm-hmm. You know, and the funny thing is, you know, and I find it very strange, you know, sometimes when people talk about Leeds United, some people seem to forget Paul, and I can't understand that myself, because he was one of the great players.
Well, that's because in your head you go through a team as you see it.
I know the team everybody's going to say.
So you say Sprake, Reaney, Cooper, and they forget. But this is the thing: it's very younger football fans have to understand. He wasn't a spare man. It wasn't like, oh well, we've got someone injured, so we'll bring him in. He was
spare men don't play 700. No,
exactly. He would have been first choice in most of those positions in any other team in the First Division.
Of course he would have been. I mean, the thing about it is Paul Madeley always played. I mean, that's what people seem to forget. You know, injuries, suspensions. Paul always played. Wherever he played, he played. I mean, I remember having that spell at centre forward, and he led the line brilliantly. Now, people wouldn't think Paul Madeley could play centre forward, but he could, you know. And there's always a debate about what was his best position, you know. Some people think it was midfield. Some people think it was right back, you know, because he was so good in them all, you know.
Eddie, good morning. It's Jim White.
Jim, how are you?
Good to speak to you, mate. Eddie, so many players these days finish their careers and hope to have won something.
Yeah.
When you look at Paul Madeley, Football League First Division, 1968-69, and again in 73-74. Second Division title, 63-64. FA Cup winner, 71-72. Football League Cup winner as well. FA Charity Shield winner. Intercities Fairs Cup winner.
Yeah.
He won the lot twice.
Yeah, and I heard you talking, Jim, just before I spoke about the European Cup, which we should have won. You know, that day against Bayern. Oh, Paul won the lot, and he played in all the big games. That's the thing about Paul Madeley. You look at all the big games Leeds United played in, and Paul Madeley played in them all.
Had you seen him much in recent years, Eddie?
Well, we hadn't seen him for a while, Jim, because Paul wasn't well. You know, he was confined, you know, in home. Which was sad. I mean, the funny thing about Paul, you know, like, since he finished playing, Jim, he had a few illnesses and he was never really well, you know. A few of the boys went up to see him, but it wasn't something that he liked to happen, you know, for the condition he was in, you know.
Yes.
It was sad. But we always kept in touch, you know, to see how he was and how he was going, you know.
Yeah. Mickey Gray's with us in studio this morning. Mickey, when you hear somebody like Madeley, a complete one-off, he could play anywhere and deliver.
Yeah, and just listening to you guys and obviously what Eddie's just said there, you know, 727 games for Leeds United. He's the type of player that we're kind of missing in this day and age, Eddie, isn't it? You know, where he loves the club.
Thing about it as well, Mickey, with him being a local boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a Leeds boy, you know. You know, there was him and Paul Reaney, Leeds boys. The two of them come through the ranks together, Leeds schoolboys. The two of them progressed through the youth team, the reserve team, and played for the first team, the two of them at a young age, and played for that 10, 12 years, you know, and never out the side, you know. I think that was the thing about it. And I was saying earlier, Mickey, you know, when I look at the modern player, I think Paul would be everybody's ideal in a modern footballer who could really get about the pitch, but play anywhere. If he wanted to pass the ball, he could pass it. If he wanted to pick somebody up, man mark somebody, he could do that. He could do everything, you know.
Absolutely brilliant.
Eddie, I was with you at the Leeds Awards night recently, and you and I were on stage. You presented a Lifetime Award to Peter Lorimer, and you could have heard a pin drop.
Yeah.
And now with people like Bremner gone, and now Madeley gone, does it make it all the more important that you fellas stick together?
It does.
In these years.
Well, he passed away, Gary Sprake, you know. Yeah. But, you know, Paul Madeley, Billy, Gary, it does. I mean, funny enough, Jim, I was away and I just got back yesterday and I heard the news and, you know, Paul Reaney's wife asked my wife to phone round the boys, you know, speaking to Johnny Giles and Peter, Nick Bates, the boys all played, Joe Jordan, Gordon McQueen, phoned them all last night, and they all can, they can hardly take it in, We knew he was ill, Jim. I think that's the thing about it. We don't kid ourselves on that it was going to get any better, But when it happens, it's still very sad.
Yeah, and just before we came on air, I think you were talking to your brother Frank over in Australia.
I was. I told Frank. Frank had just heard as well, I mean, everybody that played with Paul knew. Well, it was a great professional, though, Jim. That's the thing about Paul. I mean, every training session, he gave it his all. And as I say, he was an unbelievable athlete, He was just so supremely fit as a player. Get around the pitch, quick, very quick, People never get away from him,
Eddie, let's hope that Leeds United, the present-day Leeds United, can do something this season under the new man Bielsa. That would be good, wouldn't it? It
would be good, Jim, yeah. I mean, it's been a long time since the club were in the big league, but as you know yourself, I mean, the Cows last season were fantastic. They look as if they're going to be great this season again. Kicks off against Stoke, the team that just get relegated. So hopefully the new manager, can turn things around for the football club and get back into the big time, because it's a big city, Jim, a big football club, as you know. It'd be great for the fans, but all the fans will be in mourning this morning anyway, Jim, thinking about Paul Madeley passing away.
Eddie, thanks for your comments this morning.
Jim.
Much
Thank
appreciated.
you,
Eddie Gray joining us this morning, talking about the late, great Paul Madeley, who died yesterday. Leeds United legend. Stay with us.